this week's devotional is going to be surrounding the words that we speak. So if you don't already have your Bible, I will sit here patiently while you go and get it. Are you back? Did you get the pen and paper too? So I want to start with reading the verse with you. So if you can pull open your Bible to Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21. It reads, "The tongue has a power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." Now, the verse doesn't say there is an in-between. So that's the first point I want to make, that I want us to start applying to our week. So whenever you are in a situation where you are talking about a difficult situation, or someone else perhaps is venting to you, if you are the one venting about an individual, I want you to think of the words that you are speaking and catch yourself, essentially. So you can only be speaking positivity and negativity. So if you are in a fit of frustration, which happens, I want you to, before you even begin to vent or begin to speak, think about the feelings that you have and think about the words you're about to say. Are those words going to be speaking life into the situation or life into the individual that is involved? Or are they going to be speaking negativity and gossip and be speaking essentially death into the situation and the individual? There's no in between. So sometimes we like to cover things of like, well, I'm just really going to vent what I feel of this person and how I think of them. But then I'm going to ask for prayer. Right? So we try and hide our negativity and our gossip with the belief that it's okay to share it if you then together or on your own decide to then pray into the situation or ask for prayer for the situation. If it's negativity, no matter how you like to code it. And I don't sit here saying like, shame on you for doing this. I am completely at fault. I may or may not have done this today with someone that I'm having a lot of frustrations with. And it's easy to get caught up in it, right? So once you kind of start just expressing how you're feeling or why you're feeling a certain way or why you feel something's not fair, it's easy to kind of snowball into those kind of discussions. And this is where I myself am going to apply this verse for the remainder of the week and just try and catch myself. So maybe you won't think of it right away. Maybe you're going to start talking and then you'll be like, oh, right, Proverbs 18 verse 21. Am I speaking life or death over the person and the situation? And that's okay. Start catching yourself. We all have to start somewhere. And I want you to, as you're kind of going through your feelings and trying to express yourself, or perhaps you're listening to someone that's expressing some frustrations of their own, I want you to think about how you can speak life into the situation instead of kind of giving into the negativity or giving into somebody else's frustration, and heck, maybe even adding your own in there, because maybe there is a difficult person in your office. It happens. Maybe you are the difficult person in your office. That happens too. So I want you to think about how you can start to speak life into the situation. One of the things that I often do at my work, for whatever reason, at my work, oftentimes people come to me to express their frustrations and just get some perspective. I like analyzing. I'm very analytical when I give counsel or when I have individuals kind of talk through their frustrations. And one thing that I did not do today, but I do have a tendency of doing, is having individuals think of where the other person might have been coming from. So it's very easy to get offended when we're not stopping to kind of see where the other person's heart was in the situation, or perhaps how they themselves might have been frustrated when they snapped at us or anything like that. So it's good to kind of stop and say, okay, where was this coming from? Is it something I have done? Is it something that they are going through? It does not justify it. So I am not saying that if they were having a rough day, it was okay that they did A, B, and C to you, or vice versa if it was you that snapped on someone else. But I am saying it is good to stop and analyze the situation from both ends so that you have a little bit more clearance and perspective on your approach to the resolution, essentially. I think sometimes it's easy to forget that at the other end of our gossip and at the other end of our frustrations, there's another person, there's another broken, hurting heart, there's another individual that is also having a hard time. I have been at both ends of gossip. And frankly, both hurt, which kind of brings me into my third point is, what are your words reflecting? So everything that we do, everything that we speak, the things we share, how we present ourselves, it is all a reflection of who we are. And especially if you are a Christian, it is also a reflection of God. So what are your words reflecting? What are your actions and the choice of conversation saying about you, your character, and your heart? This can be a hard one because sometimes you downright feel like something unfair was done to you and you want to vent, you want to express your frustration, you want to make the other person either look bad, or you might just want to say, like, I'm just going to shine the light on it because I don't think this is fair. You don't just have to jump in on the bashing train. There is a godly and a righteous way of being able to express yourself, express your frustration, and then still bring resolution to this situation. One thing I will challenge you with is that if you are facing a lot of this in your own workplace this week, make wise decisions on who you talk to. Try and talk to individuals who have a life-giving perspective. Individuals who are going to pull you out of the anger, the resentment, the frustration, so that you guys can both eat of that fruit, that positivity. And it's not necessarily to say, well, you saved someone from gossip. There's a lot to say about your character, and managers look at that. The workers that surround you look at that. So you're not just gaining in that moment, you're also gaining for your future. You're setting up yourself to better standards and a better reputation in your workplace. So when the verse mentions eating of its fruit, it is kind of to say, think of like the bigger picture. So whatever you love to do in that moment is what you're going to reap in the bigger picture. The same applies for negativity. If you choose to go and not talk to a manager, or not, maybe it's human resources you need to go talk to. If you purposely choose to gossip, you are going to reap the consequences of that as well. Be it that individuals finding out what was said about them, or losing a bit of your good character and good reputation with management. There are negative consequences that follow negative choices. And the worst is that sometimes in a bout of frustration and in the heat of the moment, we might say and express things that later on we will regret, or we might have been a bit more dramatic in how we were feeling or how we chose to express ourselves. And in the long run, those are words you can't take back. Having been at both ends of gossip, I will say it is an awful feeling to want to take back something you have said, and openly knowing there is nothing you can do to change what you have done. And it has also hurt to be at the receiving end of it and questioning, why wouldn't someone come and express their frustration with me, and instead would choose to express it with, 5, 6, 7 other individuals who had no perspective in the situation, had no understanding of a discussion that had happened. And there's a lot of pain that happens there. There's a lot of loss of trust. And you might say, well, I don't care if I lose this individual's trust, but it's still a reflection of you. The words you speak are a reflection of your character. They are a reflection of your integrity. They are a reflection of the person that walks into work every morning. So you are either going to become someone who is looked up to for their ability to resolve conflict, or you are going to become someone that's known for drama and gossip. The latter shouldn't be appealing. So that's what I want us to focus on this week. What are we speaking with our words? Are we speaking life, or are we speaking death? And what is that going to cause us to reap? I also want us to kind of keep in mind that there is always an individual at the other end of the conversation, or at the other end of gossip. Before you begin to gossip or vent your frustrations, have you stopped to kind of analyze the situation and gain perspective and try and understand both sides of the story? And finally, what reflection are your words painting for yourself? Are you someone who is trusted and is going to be known for wisdom and being someone who's very good at kind of diffusing situations and presenting perspectives? Or are you going to be known as someone who thrives in drama, likes gossip, and speaks ill of everyone? So some food for thought. I too am going to be challenged in this area, so it is not just you. Let me know in your comments below what you think of the verse, if it spoke to you in other ways, and we will chat again at the next devotional.